Mindset mindset shift is the most underdeveloped capacity of all of us as human beings. When you think about the change we have in the world, imagine if you had a little more strength to shift your mindset. Let's explore 3 ways that you can learn to do this and get really good at it. The first one, I'm going to have you write down the word someplace, notice. Now, lots of us are pretty good at noticing something that's happened to us. We either bring the memory back because it's really positive, or we bring the memory back because it really wasn't positive. And the problem with only relying on what I call the rearview perspective is that we often only remember the details that match up to a previous experience, and we leave out a bunch of details that were actually in the photograph of the situation. So it's not reliable for us to only examine the rearview mirror. We must also examine the front windshield. And this is where mindset becomes so useful. We have perspective, we have beliefs, we have motivation, we have values, we have behaviors, we have preferences, we have habits. When we are imagining a future situation out the front windshield, we start to call on all of those elements of our mindset. And if we stay with it just a little bit longer, we can start to notice which elements of mindset will be most useful to this situation. Who's this person? What's the place? What's the purpose? I'm using my imagination to notice how, by choosing my mindset, which is a moment of shift, we can create the thing we imagine that is most enlivening. Now, the second step is naming. What do I mean by naming? Well, if you have a child, you might have asked them the question, why did you do that? What made you think that was a good idea? And the conversation that ensues, you start to get a sense of what somebody's rationale is, the logic that they've used. And almost always, they're going to tap into something that's a past experience. So we're in the same domain as the first step. But now what we're declaring is the thing that made me do it is. And when we can get clear about what from inside of us is the push to step toward a relationship or a given situation with a specific attitude or a desire even, then we can be a lot clearer about, is that going to produce the result I want? More often than not, leaders walk into meetings without being deliberate about their mindset. And they launch right into whatever the idea is that they want to talk about without ever checking in with anybody in the room. Now, if they're paying attention out the front windshield, they're going to see and perceive that people are not tracking with what they're saying and that there's some resistance building in the room because they're not part of it. That's a good leader who says, time for a mindset shift. Let me stop talking. Let me take a breath and remember that one of the things that's really important to me is connection. And ask the question of the people in front of you, what is it that you really love about this work we're talking about today? That's mindset shift. First yours internally as a leader, and then everybody in the meeting. Now, that's an example of the third step, which is to negotiate the basis of how you're relating and connecting. People in the workplace want to feel that they're seen and respected and recognized and acknowledged as competent and given the freedom to make choices and make their contribution, what we call fostering autonomy. If, as a leader, you're paying attention to the mindset of your people and noticing, are they walking into work with a joy in their heart? Do they love their life's work? And do you see it in the conversations and in the initiative that they take? If your answer is no, there might be a mindset shift for you to model that that's what you see in them and invite them to notice what's the mindset for them that has them stay connected to loving their life's work. Now, I'm going to give you that question again and suggest that you use this as a little bit of an experiment in the next week. Ask people, what are the choices that shape your daily lives here in a way that you know you love your life's work? And share your answer to that question and any other answers that you pick up this week. And you know what? You're going to notice a mindset shift towards something far more satisfying and positive.